Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry it's been such a long time since I've posted anything. I've been hard at work just like you, putting together my portfolio and trying out new things and learning new skills and etc etc. So hopefully this video is cool enough to keep your attention for a little bit. I just want to show you some neat stuff that I've been working on. This is well, first of all, for those of you that don't know me, I work in an escape room as a technician slash engineer. So I build stuff and I fix stuff and then I like write programs and all that other cool stuff. And it actually is about as much fun as you would expect it to be. And we're located here in Las Vegas at a place called Panic Room. So if you ever get a chance, come on, stop by. We've got 6 different games to choose from: Time Machine, Atlantis Rising, etc., etc. One thing that's cool about this place is that they are 3rd generation escape rooms, and what that means is that all of the props and puzzles are controlled by like Arduinos and Raspberry Pis. So that means there's no locks or keys or combination locks, things like that. It's all like mag locks, and we use RF chips for things to like talk to one another, and then all of the props are networked together through a C++ MQTT server, and then all of that is controlled in the control room by a game master. And so therein is where this particular program comes in. Up until this point, the game master, when they send hints to players that are stuck on something in a puzzle for whatever reason in one of the rooms, those hints have to be logged. And this is I think the whole idea is to log them for kind of like tracking how often we use certain hints. But right now the log is actually a Google Sheets spreadsheet document. And it doesn't work super well simply because like the game masters are kind of busy while they're working. So when they type things out, it takes them a long time to select which sheet they need to write it in. They kind of just copy times and dates down throughout the sheet instead of like putting in exact times and dates. So if there's like a glitch or something, it's hard to track. So I decided I was going to make this my own personal project to make something better than a Google Sheets. And so we have here this hint log database essentially. And so this is the homepage that a game master would see. And like, let's say that game master is running, say, Time Machine over here. And in Time Machine, the players are stuck on a particular prop or puzzle. The game master, instead of having to type it all out into a Google spreadsheet, can just click here with new log entry. And what it'll do is it'll allow them to select the time machine, and then it'll select, or they can select the puzzle that the group is stuck on, like for instance the skull button, and then they can select whichever hint goes along with whichever hint they ended up sending to the players. Now these are all custom hints that we use in our back end on a separate program that kind of runs everything. But these hints are also populated in the database as well, and they can be updated and changed as necessary. So one thing that's cool about this is that I want it to be like really easy to use on the fly. So the idea was, instead of game masters having to think about which puzzle and prop and hints and all that stuff that they're looking at and pulling it out of one big long list like they normally do, all they have to do is select which room, and then that room will populate the correct puzzle for them, or the list of puzzles just for that room in this next drop down. So as you can see here in Wizard, I have like table hand maze and knocking chest, etc. But if I were to change which room I'm looking at, or which room I've got to casino, well then the list of puzzles is also going to change. And so now I've got the Venetian memory game and the alcohol bottle weight game and all that stuff. And then same thing with down here in the hints. The hints are specific to that particular puzzle. So these hints are just for puzzles, and they come with like a picture or the text that would go on the screen. And if I were to change which puzzle I'm sending a hint to, the hints change as well. And this is all happening obviously in real time. It's pulling this straight from the database really quick so that they don't have to think about like what particular puzzle or hint they are working on or worrying about. And then of course they can save it all at the end. So let's say I'm running a room as a game master and Haunted has an issue with the symbol maze, and I decided to send the hint that says I would begin with the cross. I didn't put any custom text in, so I'm just going to put NA, but I don't have to fill these things in. They're all nullables for whatever reason. If you have a glitch, you can type that in, but you don't have to. It's not necessary. And then just hit save. And then it automatically populates into the log, which is over here. Now, this right here, new log entry, is going to be the default page because this is what the game masters are typically going to be worrying about. Another thing that was, like I mentioned in the sheet, was that in the when a game master is putting a log into the sheet, they also have to think about like the day and the date and the time and all that stuff. So they have to type those things in, and typically they don't. Like this would just be rounded to 1 o'clock. And that kind of is a problem if you've got glitches to worry about. So instead of them having to put all this stuff in, it just pre-populates the entry. So if I go to the log itself, we should see right here, the most recent one. There we go, Haunted Symbol Maze right there. That was at 1:39 p.m. And if I go to info, I can see that that was today, 7/22/23 at 1:39 p.m. And then here's all the extra info, which room it was, the puzzle, the hint, and any other extra things that I may need to know as the technician or the engineer. I can get them from here in this log entry. So here's the entirety of the log. It's not very long because this is my version of it. It's not the one that we're using at the location currently. But this also, as you notice, implements data tables, which use a little bit of JavaScript to populate all this stuff in here. I wanted a way to paginate really easily for anyone to look through without having to write all the pagination myself. So this is cool. Data tables works really well. It has sorting functions in there, makes your life a little bit easier. It also has a search function. So for instance, if somebody tells me that wizard props are acting up a whole bunch, I can just search for wizard, and they all are listed right here, and I can go through them one at a time. Likewise, as I mentioned before, this is all a database. It's powered by Microsoft SQL Server on the back end. And each one of these things is in the database, each one of these rooms, or I should say games in this case, because we have 6 rooms but 7 games to choose from. And if you want to get a little bit more information about each one, in particular, like the props and puzzles, like for instance, Wizard, I can see here that Wizard has 13 puzzles, and here they are all listed. Additionally, I can look at a little bit more information about those puzzles, like for instance, the knocking chest. I want to know what hints come with the knocking chest, and they're listed right here in this table for us. And what I can do is edit this if I want to. So if, like, for instance, there's a typo in this hint here, I can edit and change it. I can change what order it is, because sometimes the order of the puzzles changes. I can do the same thing with puzzles as well. If I go back to the puzzles, I can edit each puzzle, and I can say what order the puzzle is supposed to be in. I can change the name if there's a typo, and if I really wanted to, I could even change the room, but I'm not going to do that because we don't typically move puzzles from one room to another. So anyways, some things to add in the future would be a feature to add a new prop, or sorry, not a new prop, a new hint. So as you can see here, I can add a new puzzle if I wanted to. They'll tell me which room I want to add it to and the name of the puzzle, like magic wand or something, and then I can put it in a particular order. I'm not going to say that though, because I don't want to mess it up. As in, like, I don't want to mess up the database that I currently have, but it will save it to the database and populate it in. Rest assured that that works for sure. But what I would like to do is add in, again, if I go to say knocking chest and get more info, I'd like another button up here to add a hint. That would be something to work on in the future. Not that I can't do it, I just never got around to it because it's typically not something that we do a whole lot. So yeah, and then of course, you can see up here at the top it says hello admin. This does make use of Microsoft Identity Framework, and so I'm logged in currently as an admin, and the admin can see all the different users, and so you can see there is a user person here, and if I were to log out from the admin and then log in as user instead, that will make it so that I can't see the admin functionality up here, but I do have access to the log and of course the rooms if I want to see more information about those. So that one makes use of authorization. So in the event that I, as the technician, want to give people a little bit more power, or less power, I should say, in what they can access and what they can and can't do, that's going to be right there. That would maybe be for future functionality. But anyways, so that's what I got going on. And if you are interested in coming to see the escape rooms, feel free to drop on by. Come and say hi. I actually work early in the morning, so you'd have to come early in the morning, like right when we open, because then I pretty much skedaddle right after that. But it's easy to fix stuff when nobody's there. If you're interested in the program itself, though, check out my GitHub. It's right here at the very top. It's in my pinned repos, Panic Hint DB. I just made it public, so feel free to start if you like it, or fork it, or whatever. Send me a message if you want some more information on what you can do with it, or just, take a look and give me some props. That'd be really cool. So anyways, I'll be posting some more in a little bit. I've been working on a whole bunch of stuff, actually. So this is just one of many things that will be posted soon. So anyways, hopefully this was cool and you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.